Hello and welcome to this review of the 2024 Bourbon Goose Island Bourbon County brand stout, introduced in 1992. This is a 2024 edition. I bought this at Total Wine & More. I didn't see it in my local area, unfortunately, but I was stopping by Total Wine for some other things, so I found it. $13.99 for the bottle. My friend David found it at Elio's Wine Warehouse in New Orleans, Louisiana, for $12.99. I would have preferred that price. Drink by the 23rd of June, 2029. 14.7% alcohol. It's a high alcohol version this year, boy. From Chicago, Illinois, Goose Island Brewing. They use Alchemy and Millennium hops. They don't talk about the malts. They aged this in Heaven Hill, Four Roses, Wild Turkey, and Buffalo Trace barrels. They don't talk about how they do it, though. Did they take part of the batch and put it in a quarter of the batch in one, a quarter of the batch in the other, and so forth? Or did they take all of it and put it in one barrel series and the next? So they don't discuss that. They said they found it was needing more time to age, so they aged it up to 16 months. They said an average of 16 months in the barrel. So that means this thing was brewed back in 2022, if they were aging it for 16 months. All right. Hit the market the last Friday in November 2024. Some people might have gotten early releases of it, but yeah, I didn't look for it until the last Saturday in November. All right, so it's pouring out thick. Get a thin beige head. This is a wide glass. It'd be thicker in a narrow glass, but it's not going to be thick really, because these imperial stouts tend to not have thick heads of foam. All right, it's very dark brown, nearly black. Yeah, even with that strong light, it's sort of black looking. All right. Beer Advocate, 100 out of 100. Rate Beer, 100 out of 100. 100 in the style. Untapped, 87. 8.7 out of 10 for Untapped is unheard of. That would translate to a 97 in Beer Advocate's system. If you have a beer in Untapped that gets up to a 4 out of 5 or 80, that's a rarity. All right, so you know you got something. This is higher than that, 8.7. Okay. Or, yeah, it's like nearly 5 out of 5. Okay. Like I said, a 97 on Beer Advocate. Now, all right, it smells bourbonish, bourbon barrels. Now, I saw the variants for $24.99. I passed. I've had variants in the past with mixed results, honestly. Some of them were dynamite. Others were sort of like, why did I pay this much? It was a ripoff. So I just said I'm going to stick with the standard one from now on, because, I mean, if the variants used to be $20.99, now it's $24.99. They were $23.99 at Elio's. I mean, if every time they would have been unbelievably great, I would have kept buying the variants. But when I had 50-50, half great and the other half questionable, I decided to pass. All right, so we're going with the flagship. Bourbon barrel of various ones, 4 different companies. And they didn't specify which Heaven Hill. Is it just the standard Heaven Hill bourbon? Or is it one of their, like Elijah Craig or Henry McKenna? Is it Buffalo Trace? Or is it one of their variants, such as Benchmark or Hancock? You just don't know. Is it Wild Turkey 101 or Wild Breed? No, I mean. So it's, kind of vegetative in the nose. Kind of like a spinach type thing. Now, I'm not saying that the thing's oxidized or going off. I got one of those from Distill one time, one of their imperial stouts. I mean, and thing smelled and tastes like spinach. And they were like, yeah, we're sorry, you know, and they sent me a bunch of stuff. I never posted a video. I felt so bad for the girl, the representative, the lady. It was like, they're going to bring heat down on her? There's a little black licorice even. It's kind of strange. All right. So, does it smell good? Well, it smells interesting. Let's go with it looks nice. Let's go with the taste. Cheers. Get oak from the bourbon barrels. Get dark raisins, chocolate, dark bread, burnt toast maybe. The body's medium to heavy. Let's say high medium. It's really not heavy. There's the syrupy mouthfeel. There's definitely a roasted quality here. I don't want to say burnt, but it's roasted. Semi-sweet finish. There's some blackstrap molasses, dark rum, like the black rums, like the Myers is, or the Estate Diamond. Blackstrap from Cruzan. Bitterness. It's sort of bitter, but I don't know where the bitterness is coming from. I guess those Alchemy and Millennium hops. So let's say bitterness is 2.5 out of 5 hop cones. The sweetness, yeah, let's say 3 out of 5 sugar cubes. Yeah. Maybe some maple syrup, like dark maple syrup that you put on pancakes or waffles. It's interesting. Does not taste like the past variants, honestly. It's a unique one. I don't guess it's the greatest that they've made, but I'd have to go back and blind taste test them. I don't have access to old bottles, so that's not going to happen. I could find maybe a few old bottles at Dorgnac's Food Center. They'll run about $11.99, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23 perhaps, but I'm not going to do all that. But doesn't have a spinach flavor. It does have that in the aroma. So I think it's nice. It's enjoyable, but it's maybe not the best. But still, I'll go with 9.7 out of 10. Most excellent, but in the past, I've even gone up to 100 out of 100. Outstanding. World class, above 100. I might have done that once. That's beyond perfect, but still, you know, every year is not going to be, you know, the exploding plastic inevitable. But I think the worst Bourbon counties you'll get, except for that one year when it was oxidized and they had to send refunds, and I got my refund. But those little mistakes happen from time to time. But hopefully not much. But besides that, the worst Bourbon county you'll ever find would be like a 96. I'm talking about the standard. A 9.6 out of 10 would be a bad year. It's just an 8. This is a 9.7, elevated almost to outstanding. So 9.7 out of 10, most excellent product. I feel like I got my money's worth. And I could revisit it maybe down the road. So laissez les bon temps relais, and I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Chicago, Illinois and take a Goose Island, sorry. Bourbon County is the brand. A Goose Island Brewery. Goose Island Brewing brewery tour.